break out the wine and let's raise a toast. Because Game of Thrones fans have another spin-off to obsess over while we all wait, impatiently, for the winds of winter. Let's be honest, we're still waiting. But HBO's A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, inspired by the Hedge Knight novella, introduces us to Dunk the Tall, a towering, awkward young man who seems to stumble through life as much as he does through doorways. In this video, we're diving deep into the episode's lore, hidden details, and the connections that tie it all back to House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones. And don't worry, no spoilers beyond this episode, so if you haven't read the book or, let's face it, just haven't gone around to it, you're safe here. Like its predecessors, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms begins with death, the corpse of Sir Arland, a hedge knight from Pennytree, a Riverlands village famous for its oak tree studded with copper pennies. Pennytree has been a battleground in the feud between House Bracken and House Blackwood, a conflict we saw hinted at in House of the Dragon's opening scene, the Burning Mill. Here, we meet Dunk, Sir Arland's squire, a lanky teenager from Flea Bottom, King's Landing's most brutal slum. If you've seen the child-fighting pits King Aegon used to frequent, you know how harsh life there is. Dunk has been squiring for Sir Arland since he was 5, living the life of a hedge knight, always on the move, always chasing the next coin, whether it's protecting merchants, entering tournaments, or selling his sword to noble houses. Now, with Sir Arland gone, Dunk faces a crossroads. Find a new master or try to make it as a hedge knight himself. But Westeros isn't exactly at peace. 13 years have passed since the first Blackfyre Rebellion, where King Daeron II Targaryen crushed his half-brother Daemon Blackfyre's uprising. The rebellion's over, but the bitterness lingers. A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms takes place roughly 78 years after the Dance of the Dragons in House of the Dragon and about a century before Game of Thrones. The current king, Daeron II, is the great-grandson of Rhaenyra Targaryen and the great-great-grandfather of Daenerys Targaryen. Upon Sir Arland's death, Dunk inherits his sword, armor, and 3 horses: Thunder, Chestnut, and Sweetfoot. Thunder, his combat mount, is going to be crucial in the tournaments ahead. Dunk sets his sights on Ashford Meadow in the Reach, where a tournament is being held to celebrate the 13th named day of Lord Ashford's daughter, the Fair Maid of Ashford. A win here could put Dunk on the map and give him the capital he needs to properly outfit himself as a knight. But as we'll see, the road to glory is anything but smooth. From the first moments, it's clear this isn't your typical Game of Thrones spin-off. The iconic theme music swells, only to be interrupted by Dunk taking a leak. It's a cheeky moment, maybe even a jab at the final season, but it sets the tone. This show doesn't take itself too seriously. Keep an eye on that robin in the tree, we'll come back to it. And notice the penny tree sigil on Sir Arland's shield, a winged chalice. Our next stop is a nearly empty in a day's ride from Ashford Meadow. Here, Dunk meets Egg, an orphan stable boy with a shaved head nicknamed Egg because, well, he looks like one. In the book, Egg explains the Meisters shaved it off, a common treatment for lice or sickness. The dialogue here is almost word for word from the book, so it'll be interesting to see how faithfully the show adapts the rest of the story. The inn is deserted. Everyone's already at the meadow, except for one drunk lordling who ominously mutters about dreams. And who in Game of Thrones is known for prophetic visions? He drops a coin bearing the Targaryen sigil, and the innkeeper delivers a line that hits hard. Knights are built the same as other men, and I never knew a joust to change the price of ale. It's a stark reminder of the divide between the nobility and the small folk. Tournaments are just spectacle for the rich, draining their coffers while the poor stay poor. Dunk discovers Egg isn't the innkeeper's boy. When he catches Egg riding his horse and wearing his armor, the kid asks to be Dunk's squire. Every knight needs one, he says. Dunk refuses, tossing him a coin, this one stamped with the 7-pointed star of the Faith of the Seven. I promise you, you're better off not squiring for the likes of me, Dunk warns. The next day, Dunk arrives at Ashford Meadow, where the jousting lanes are being set up, adorned with House Ashford's insignia. Notice the Dendarian Pavilion, it'll matter soon. Dunk's reality hits hard when the Master of Games tells him he needs proof he's a real knight. Dunk claims Sir Arland knighted him, but there are 2 red flags. A flashback where young Dunk asks if he'll ever be a knight, and Sir Arland doesn't even answer. Then there's Dunk's admission that only a robin in a thorn tree witnessed his knighthood. We saw that robin, but only after Sir Arland was dead. So, if Dunk wants to compete, he needs another knight to vouch for him. Enter House Dendarian. Its current lord, Sir Manfred, fought alongside Sir Arlandin Dorn, hunting outlaws led by the Vulture King. If Dunk can get Manfred to vouch for him, he's in. Manfred is an ancestor of Beric Dondarrion from Game of Thrones, but even if Dunk gets in, the stakes are sky-high. He's up against the Bestrain Knights in Westeros, men with superior armor, horses, and skills. Losing means forfeiting everything: arms, armor, and his horse. His dream of knighthood could shatter in an instant. On his way to the Dendarian Pavilion, Dunk passes the insignias of House Beesbury and House Baratheon. We'll get to Baratheon soon. First, he runs into two knights under House Dendarian who mock him for being a hedge knight, a term for knights so lowly they sleep in hedges. But Sir Arland always told Dunk that hedge knights were the truest kind, loyal not out of obligation, but conviction. Dunk's convictions are put to the test when he stumbles upon Raymond Fossaway getting beaten by his cousin, Sir Steffan, a real piece of work. Raymond begs Dunk to intervene, but Dunk walks away. So much for knightly valor. Dunk's uncertainty is what makes him relatable. He's not the cocky warrior you'd expect from a man his size. When the knights tease him for being a green knight, he mutters, "Maybe I'll be different, not I will be different." He even talks to his horse, saying, "Maybe I'll win the tournament instead of I will." It's this hesitation, this vulnerability, that makes him endearing. Inside the Dendarian Pavilion, Dunk finds two women preparing a third as if she's dead, with funeral stones over her eyes, just like we saw with Jon Arryn in Game of Thrones pilot. This scene isn't in the book, and it hints that Manfred Dendarian might have unusual tastes. The women point out that Dunk is just like them, trading skills for coin. Instead of selling their bodies, he sells his sword. Dunk spends the evening soaking in the tournament's festivities. He watches a play about Serwyn of the Mirror Shield, a legendary knight who tricked a dragon into staring at its own reflection before killing it. These myths add to the allure of knighthood, but something else catches Dunk's eye: a storyteller. The way they exchange glances suggests we haven't seen the last of her. On his way to the Baratheon Pavilion, Dunk runs into Raymond Fossaway again, who warns him that his cousin likes to break men in the training yard. Raymond asks Dunk who he wants to face in the tournament. Most knights would have a target for glory, fame, or revenge. But Dunk, it makes no difference. "I just want to prove myself." Will he get the chance? The Baratheon Pavilion is where Lionel Baratheon, the Laughing Storm, holds court. Heir to Storm's End, Lionel is known for his boisterous laughter in battle. His son, Ormond Baratheon, would later marry Princess Rhaelle Targaryen, tying House Baratheon's bloodline to the Targaryens, and eventually leading to Robert Baratheon's claim to the throne in Game of Thrones. Lionel wears a stag crown, the symbol of his house, and regales Dunk with the story of the first joust on these lands over 4,000 years ago. "It couldn't have been man who devised such a joy," he says, "a man who lives for battle." He even offers 100 gold dragons to the man who sticks me best. Dunk's just there for the food and drink, but his height makes him stand out. Lionel questions him. Who is he? Why is he slouching? Lionel's philosophy: be unapologetically yourself. The seven above gave you tallness, so be tall. Dunk's ignorance of noble customs actually endears him to Lionel. While the other knights dance carefully around the Lord, Dunk stomps on his feet without a second thought. By the end of the night, they're drunk, laughing, and practically best friends. Dunk even tries on Lionel's crown. Lionel tells a story about nearly dying in a storm at sea, but pushing through. It's a metaphor for testing oneself against the unknown, just like Dunk is about to do in the tournament. It's a great honor to test oneself against a worthy foe, Lionel says, but Dunk is untested. He's always been the squire, never the knight. Now, he's about to face the realm's deadliest fighters. It's a life-or-death gamble, much like Lionel's storm. Drunk and determined, Dunk stumbles back to camp, only to finally find Sir Manfred Dendarian. He pleads for Manfred to vouch for him, but the Lord doesn't even recognize Sir Arland's name. House Dendarian lost hundreds of men in Dorne, and their sigil, the forked purple lightning, comes from a legend where lightning saved a Dendarian messenger from a Dornish ambush. Dunk's dismissed like he's nothing, but when he returns to camp, he finds Egg, who's followed him, tended to the horses, set up a fire, and caught a fish. Egg's determined to earn his keep, even if it meant riding on a lamb cart to get here. Dunk introduces himself as Sir Duncan the Tall, and for the first time, he stands up straight, a callback to when Lion-O asked him why he slouches so much. Dunk and Egg make an odd pair. A hulking, uncertain knight and a small, overly confident boy. Dunk agrees to keep Egg on until the tournament ends, promising food, clothes, and hopefully no beatings. As they sit by the fire, Egg points out a falling star. A falling star brings luck to those who see it, he says. Dunk wonders if that luck is for the knights sleeping in their pavilions or for him. In Westeros, falling stars are omens. The birth of dragons for Daenerys, the return of Azor Ahai for Stannis, or war and bloodshed for the small folk. For Dunk, it's a sign of hope, and he's going to need it. So, what did you think of the first episode of A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms? Drop your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Follow and subscribe to our channel, Movies and Series Madness Reset, for more deep dives, reviews, and takes you won't find anywhere else. Until next time, stay mad about movies and series.